Stunt Race FX for the Super Nintendo. Another Super FX game. And, well, let's see if it's any good, shall we? Alright, here we go. Stunt Race FX. Copyright 1994 Nintendo. Well, this is a racing game, and it's a 3D racing game. Thanks to the Super FX chip. This is the second game to use the Super FX chip. Obviously, the first one was Star Fox. I'm sure we all know that. And there were some games to follow, but we're talking about this one here, the second one. This game's pretty hard. The controls definitely take some getting used to. That's because the game does run a little bit slow. The graphics are, I don't want to say choppy, but they are a little bit on the slow side, and the controls do lag just a little bit due to that. Definitely takes some concentrating, but once you get used to it, it's not horrible. It's certainly playable, and actually I find it fun. I like this game. I used to rent this game back in the day, and yeah, I found it a few weeks ago and picked it up. As you can see, full polygon graphics, including some bit mapping and some scaling of 2D objects on the screen. They really pushed the Super Nintendo and the Super FX chip in this game. This game was actually produced by Shigeru Miyamoto. Bet you didn't know that. And of course developed and published by Nintendo. Nintendo EAD, assisted by Argonaut Software. Those are the guys that actually developed the Super FX chip and the 3D capabilities of the Super Nintendo with the Super FX chip. They actually started developing the Super FX chip back in 1991. So, same year the Super Nintendo came out, these guys were already working on the Super FX chip, which we didn't see until, 1993 with Star Fox? This game here came out in 1994. Came out June 1994 in Japan, and October 1994 in North America and Europe. In Japan, this game's not called Stunt Race FX. Big surprise. Different name in Japan. It's called Wild Tracks. So, Luke, if you're looking for this game, look for Wild Tracks. I don't know if you have it or not, but definitely worth picking up. Like I said, the controls do get some taking used to. And there's one unique thing in the controls in this game is there's actually 3 degrees of your front wheels turning. You just press left or right, obviously, to steer. And then if you just press L and R, you'll get like the 2nd degree. And if you steer L and R on the D-pad and the triggers at the same time, then you get the 3rd degree of your steering. The sharp is turning. And there are some parts in this game where you will have to use the sharp turning. There may even be some parts where you want to use the in-between turning, which is just the L and R triggers. So that definitely takes some getting used to. But once you get used to it, you figure out the timing in the corners of when to hit your sharp turn. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It just takes some getting used to. You've also got a boost gauge, as you can see, the blue little bar near the bottom of the actual 3D screen. And you pick up your boost, little boost power-ups on the track. And then, of course, you've got like a turbo boost while you hold it down. Very similar to F-Zero there. As is the damage. You can see the very bottom center of the screen. You got a damage bar, and every time you hit a wall too hard or something, you will take damage, or you hit another car, you'll take damage. I got a little bit of fog effect going on in this level, and there's a little bit of texture mapping in this level. On there's a wooden bridge that you'll cross. I think it's coming up right here. You can see the texture mapping on the wood there. Once again, really pushing the Super FX chip. And like I said, it does show a little bit slow at times, but you know, especially when you take a corner too sharply and you oversteer or hit like the wall, and you know, sometimes it does kind of lag up just enough that you don't quite realize where you were, or where you are, or where you're going. But yeah, this is the other part of the game. This is like the stunt tracks. It's kind of boring. They're all the basic same premise is collect the stars, and that's all you do is you drive around and collect the stars. But of course, these tracks are a little different, as you can see. There's a lot more bumps and jumps, and they really throw your steering off. If you hit one of these jumps the wrong way, or facing the wrong way when you land, it's really hard to correct yourself, you know, the steering while you're moving in this game. You know, here's some of the examples where you need to use your sharp steering with the L and with your direction pad and the triggers at the same time. You'll definitely need to use that in some of these slow speed and really sharp corners to get the stars. And there's some parts where you even need to jump. That's right, your car can jump. You know, seeing as they have no axles, the wheels are just the little 2D wheel sprites there with your 3D car op. Kind of looks like the cars from Cars, but this is a bonus level. There's a couple bonus levels in the game, and this one you're driving a transport truck, and this is another example of where you're going to have to get used to the short turning, the medium turning, and the sharp turning. And you can see there I'm going between the medium and the sharp turners, because you really got to turn this thing to make some of the turns. If you just use the D-pad, you can't turn like that. This is kind of fun, and it gets you used to the controls, and if you do good enough, you'll get a bonus car, which of course I did, because I'm great. Yeah, not really. I'm actually doing pretty good at this game, and at first I didn't know if I was going to rip on this game, or if I was going to like this game, because the controls really do take some getting used to, and you know, the first few times I picked up the game, I was doing horrible, and I just thought the controls are way too laggy, and you know, didn't think I was gonna like the game. But as I got used to it, the controls I found much more usable, and as you can see now, I mean, I'm doing pretty good at the game. And it's a fun game. I mean, I like racing games, so I mean, it's a given. It's a fun racing game. It doesn't quite run as fast as you know, I think the Sega's SVP chip with their virtual racing. Much faster and smoother, but maybe there's more going on in this game too with the texture mapping and see some of the texture mapping there. We just passed Fox McCloud and Kirby, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know, there was a little bit of texture mapping in Star Fox, but really just at the beginning, as far as I can remember, just one little spot. And it's neat to see in this. I mean, it's really early 3D here for the Super Nintendo, and the second game to use the Super FX chip. And there you can go. And I can see I got first place on all the races. I mean, it just takes some getting used to. You know, after a couple races, you'll get the hang of the controls. So definitely a cool game, an exclusive. You know, developed by Nintendo, and you know, it's fun once you get used to the controls.